These paintings were made for a particular event which was so significant in that time. I mean, it was the equivalent of the modern day Europe. That was the beginning of Europe, if you like. I mean, the whole of Burgundy, that was united lands under Philip the Good, coming together to have their G8 equivalent back in the 15th century. Before we carry out any treatments, it's very important to understand the object. So we use various non-invasive techniques to examine the paintings so that we can really build up an accurate picture before we even start treating to what we might be able to anticipate within the treatment and to really understand the object. Once there is understanding and we've taken full documentation of the objects, is removal of the surface dirt, varnish removal tests. There was a great deal of overpainting, and in several cases there were splits in these boards, or the two boards had separated, so there were structural treatments that had to be undertaken. Once stabilised and once the original surfaces could be exposed, then we were set about refilling the losses. So where the original paint and ground layers were lost, we could fill them and then retouch them to integrate the whole image so it could be readable again. Some of the materials that were used have in particular degraded, and this is the case for a red lake, for instance, and the green glazes. And in one of the paintings, North 6, Jan van Cricke, it had the symbol in the centre of the shield. In our samples we could see this beautiful red lake originally, and now of course the uppermost layer has tended to discolour to a more brown layer, and we respect that. That's a natural process in the painting's history, but where we were carrying out our retouching, we tried to accentuate the redness of the retouching so it's still fitted with the degraded surface, but gives a redder impression to the overall. So it's a kind of optical trick for your eyes. For this project, I also had an international crowd helping me. We had colleagues from Sral and interns and conservators from elsewhere in the world. One of the fascinating things about the project was the amount of overpaint and how much we could uncover about the restoration history, and how much it showed us that in actual fact these paintings had never been given sort of a full attention. People had done their best, but they were never given the resources or had the technical expertise to actually uncover the original surfaces and the original correct heraldic depictions. That's an amazing feeling, to be able to see the original surfaces after 450 years.